Well, Christmas time is over, which means that not only are we getting back to the grind, but also there is some interesting news to cover. We could talk about all the news articles that totally twisted the context on some things that were mentioned by rioters during the holidays, with Trindamir mentioning that they are doing cool things because they like doing cool things, not because they are profitable, to which a lot of people asked, why did they shut down Riot Forge then? While none of them realized that Riot is still making more games, they are just doing it internally, without the indie studios. Anyway, that's turned out to be a whole massive rabbit hole that might be worth talking about. But today, we're not doing that.
Hey, I knew who that
Today,
guy was.
we are talking about something
really
interesting.
It's that guy. I know him. Him over there. He's a pretty cool guy.
Been hovering in the background for many years now. And that are the numbers surrounding TFT.
Wow,
That's
numbers.
right. It turns out TFT as a game is big. And I mean,
I've been
it
saying
is
that for years.
way bigger than any of us realized.
What?
Like,
Would you fucking
yes,
listen
there
to me?
were some hints every now and then. For example, it was suspicious to see how many cosmetics TFT started getting and how now we are getting new arenas and a lot of new little legends, and then there are chibis and the set.
I've been saying this for years. The team's grow. Like, I have been public about this, but nobody believes me. Oh, you guys are the worst. You guys are the worst.
Are getting bigger and bigger every time. Like, it's not only just cycling units, it's also entire new mechanics. And now, there are 3 whole dev pods that are working on new sets.
3 sets a year?
That is an
Crazy.
expansion of a team you normally wouldn't do around a reasonably sized game.
Yeah, could you imagine how dumb we would be if it's like, guys, we're switching to 3 sets a year and we're investing all these resources and the team's tripling in size, but the game's barely making any money and we're losing players every year? Like, what? What?
So yes,
No
for
kidding.
a while, things were suspicious. But now, even though the numbers are still vague, we did get some numbers confirmed.
I know. I
And
wish you could
yes,
say
they
more.
did come from a tweet, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't make a video.
No, to be clear, my tweet was just reiterating what was said at Macau. I am not the source of this. I am not the source of this. It was said at Macau during the round table with Peter and Jeff and Christine.
About a
I
single
just
tweet. But
reiterated
thankfully, the tweet is not the only source of this information. There is also a whole extra video.
Yes,
So, why don't we have a look at where TFT is currently standing? Let's
On the
start with
top.
the dev video that kickstarted all of this. Here we got Christina, the senior game product manager, and Peter, who is TFT's game director. These two dropped here to talk about what's
This guy's my boss, by the way. If you ever wonder who bullies me, it's this guy.
currently happening with TFT, but also where the game is going in the future. And the reason why they dropped it now is because the Macau Open happened
Yeah, it did.
when the video dropped.
And it was
So
great.
they begin by quickly recapping 2024. Because you might be surprised to know that 2024 was
feel like
a
I should be
really
wearing my
successful
Nectar
year
hat.
for TFT. First of all, this was the first time they tested out their 3 sets per year.
True.
We got Inkborn Fables, Magic and Mayhem,
True.
and Into the Arcane. And since this proved
Hey,
to
those
be a
sets are pretty
success
good.
over the previous version, which was just releasing a set and then having a mid-set, which didn't change that much, so going into the future, they will continue with their 3 sets per year.
Yeah, we will.
And that is when
No, we're going 6 sets a year.
really wild sentence dropped.
It still blows my mind to say this, but TFT is the largest PC strategy game out there, with players worldwide. And that's all thanks to you.
Yep.
That's right. TFT
We've been saying that for like
is
3
the
years, too.
biggest strategy game in the world. And if you have a look
Christine Blue Bell's boss?
around,
No. No.
it kinda makes sense. I mean, yes, for the consideration of strategy games, we are talking about live service games. I don't think TFT is competing with single-player games such as Civilization or something like that. We are
Yes, we
mainly
are.
talking about the live service games that can be
yes, we are.
categorized
Wait. We are absolutely competing with games like Civilization. Absolutely. We're talking about all strategy games. We did not say live service strategy games. We did not say multiplayer strategy games. We said all strategy games. So, yeah. Don't give me that.
strategy games. I mean, if you have a look at the auto chess genre alone, there I absolutely understand that TFT is the biggest one. I mean, what else do we have in the auto chess genre?
See, look, he's trying to downplay it like Yeah, of course it's the biggest one. There's nothing else. No, we're not down. Okay, come on, man. Come on.
Dota?
See, this is the problem. This is a problem with us being vague, too. Can't we just, like, I'm a YouTuber. I don't have my charts to compare.
Heard about that one in a
strategy
while.
game.
But hearing the fact that TFT is the biggest strategy game, that is something else. Because now you would be competing with games such as StarCraft 2 or stuff like that. Yeah, all of those games are dead. So never mind, I understand why TFT is the biggest strategy game. There is simply no one able to take their crown. But still, things are not that simple, because strategy games do technically have their own platform. Mobile phones.
Yes.
That's right, if we're talking about a strategy game, the easiest place to play them is on your phone. And that's simply because usually you can't really play high-action games or anything like that on your phone. Unless it's Wild Rift. I mean, Fortnite has to have some disadvantages, right? Which is why, again, strategy games are the most popular on mobile devices.
True.
So you have to consider that technically TFT is competing with stuff like Clash of Clans or something like that.
They are.
And the reason why TFT is likely beating them all is because TFT is also on mobile. In fact, a massive portion of the player base is playing on their phones, me included. I play 90% of all TFT games on my phone.
Well, that's why you're bad.
In my bed. That is why there was the recent push of even having the PBE for mobile phones for TFT. And if anyone learned anything about the mobile market, it's the fact that it is ginormous. It is far bigger than the console market or the PC market. And on Twitter, Mortdog confirmed that.
Okay, so the whole like which market is bigger, PC, mobile, and console, it's like it has a higher cap, but it's much harder to get into. Like to be successful on mobile right now is really hard because mobile gamers like have their like 5 games they like and like nothing else plays. Whereas like, yeah, and mobile users will spend like crazy. But it's much easier to get into the other 2, so.
Over the entire lifespan of TFT, the game got over 300 million players.
Yes, 300 million players.
This is not really a reliable number because the peaks and downs are all over the place with TFT.
Wait, it's not a reliable number? It is exactly a reliable number. It is a factual number. The context might matter, or how you interpret that might matter, but it is a very reliable number. Don't tell me it's not reliable.
It first peaked when it was released, where it entirely destroyed Riot servers and no one could play anything. But then it gradually went down as they were trying to figure out what to do with the monetization or with the cents.
Sure.
Yes, remember, back in the day, you had to buy eggs.
Eggs. They were
excellent. So technically, TFT was the first gacha that Riot had. And it turned out that monetization wasn't...
Wait. You can't say TFT is the first gacha. League had the loot system. What do you call the orbs and capsules and Hextech chests? Those were gacha. Like, what? We weren't first. League had chests for years. I helped make the orbs and capsules for League. What?
That good, and TFT was in trouble, but then they figured out the new system with arenas and really expensive gacha.
True.
And now TFT can not only sustain itself, but it can also earn enough money for Riot to also do other things.
True.
Yes, this was also unironically confirmed in another post. So wrapping it all back to the point of this video.
Wait.
If you have ironically confirmed in another post.
Oh, this is the This is the but TFT is very profitable. I'm allowed to say that. We are very profitable. Yay.
So wrapping it all back to the point of this video. If you have a look at all of Riot's games, mainly the big ones such as League or Valorant,
such as the big ones like, I don't know, TFT, the biggest strategy game in the world?
TFT was never really compared to them, and it always looked like the underdog that Riot has.
No!
Sorry,
I've been here the whole time. We know underdog.
But it turns out, the whole time, TFT was on a comparable level to something like League. And so, if we have a look at the most basic kind of data, which is something like Google Trends,
God, Google Trends.
you may notice that
Google Trends, incredibly biased towards Western audience. Google Trends, no.
while the numbers are stacking against TFT, TFT is still kinda equaling them out. I mean, there is a bias towards the League numbers, because anytime you search for anything that is League Arcane related, or it's a music video, or it's a cinematic, it counts as a League search. TFT simply doesn't have those. Which is why when stuff like esports events happen, the League searching goes up, but TFT stays down. TFT is simply not really connected to the
our
search
Google
word
trend charts are
League.
down. Better shut the game
However, there is one more
All that
big
money we made
reason
doesn't
why
matter.
TFT's
Google trends
numbers
are down.
are kinda hidden. And this all starts making sense if we go back to the 2022 interview where Travis talked to the head of esports. There, John Needham got to talk about TFT too. And here he mentioned this.
Rumors are that TFT is actually massive from a player-based perspective. I don't think you guys have ever really reported numbers around it. But we talk so much about Valley Sports, we talk so much about League Esports. Obviously there's Wild Rift, etc. But on the TFT side, are you guys planning on doing more than you guys are doing right now on the esport? Because right now it feels like it's more like community fun tournaments, right?
Yeah, totally. So one, TFT is the thing I do first every day of my life these days.
It's true, by the way. This guy, sometimes when I'm in the Riot office, this guy will walk to his desk. It's like past where I sit. And it's like, he's like, hey, Mort, how's it going? And I'm like, hey. And then Alex will give me crap. He's like, oh, look, everybody knows who Mort is. I could just, So he gives me crap for that.
I'm up very early in the morning and I play 2 matches at TFT. Yes. I'm a huge fan.
Doing Rage Wing all the time, I'm sure?
I'm doing Dark Light. Dark Light's my build right now.
There's a callback. Rage Wing and Dark Light.
And we love the game. It is the #1 strategy game in the world right now. I'll just say that.
Okay.
It is huge with Fight for the Golden Spatula in China and the PC version around the world and the League client. It is, you would be shocked at how many players that we have at TFT.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Did you hear that? You would be shocked at how many players. You know who wouldn't be shocked? People who listen to me.
Not only did he bring up the scale of TFT multiple times, but also he mentioned Golden Spatula. Now, for those of you who don't know, Golden Spatula is a special version of TFT that is only active in China.
True.
This means that if you have a look at the Google Trends, Golden Spatula is not included there. So if you have a look at the numbers that we previously shown, well now, the Golden Spatula should totally throw this out of balance. And more to that, if you have a look at where TFT is popular, you'll notice it is mostly in the East. So while in the West, TFT can be treated as a good game, in the East...
What was that? Treated as a good game? Oh, is that all? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't cure cancer as well. Sorry, it's just a good game. My bad.
There is a whole another culture around that. What's even more mind-boggling is that if you have a look at Korea specifically, where League of Legends is almost seen as a religion, well, it turns out in Korea, TFT can match those numbers.
Wow.
The size of engagement is very comparable there. But again, people in the West simply don't realize that. So the next time you think that TFT is a dead game, there is a whole other side of the world that would heavily disagree with you. And so now, if we go back to the video that revealed the new updates, now it makes sense why the scale of TFT is so good. So next in the video, they talk about how this scale reflects on the development. So again, now they do have 3 different dev pods working on 3 sets at the same time,
I love 3
which
sets.
allows them to do big things with TFT, such as the frying pan,
And that's not
or
even counting
exploring
the modes team and other
PvE
stuff that's
through
happening
Docker's
and
trials,
other
or
stuff I
even
can't talk
overhauling
about.
some systems, such as the item bench.
That's
And they
just the
confirmed
sets.
they are not done yet. There is a lot more they are working on. And as they are working on it, they make sure to tell us that they know not everything will be a success. For example, they know that some mechanics will be a hit or miss. But at the same time, they know this kind of experimentation with mechanics is the key for every set feeling unique.
True.
And I'll be honest, I absolutely agree with this. I don't really care if the new mechanic is good or bad. I just like when TFT is trying cool new things.
Well, wait. So, agree that we should try cool new things, but let's not oversell it here. We do care if it's bad. If it's bad, that's bad. We probably shouldn't ship bad things. Just throwing it out there. Like, down to try new things, but like, you know, yeah, let's be careful.
And it turns out, most people agree with this philosophy. Because if there is a mechanic that you don't like, well, don't worry, we are getting 3 sets per year that are experimenting.
Yeah, that's true.
So just play.
Like, that is actually a very important point, right? Like, if you didn't like encounters, guess what? You can come back in 3 months. You didn't like charms? Great, you can come back. So that part's true, at least. At least if you personally feel something is bad, that's a good thing. So I agree with that.
Play a different game and then come back. Everything is gonna be totally fine. Anyway, they mentioned that in 2024, they mainly experimented with encounters. Inkborn Fables first introduced these new events. Magic and Mayhem then turned it into the Portal voting system. But it turned out most people were just voting for the...
What? No. Portals have been around since set 9. That's not true. We kept portals from set 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. Come on now.
Same portals over and over again. So Into the Arcane turned this into the best of both worlds, where there is a lot of cool events, but they are rotating. But of course, on top of these encounters, which seem to be staying as a permanent feature, they are also including a lot of smaller changes, such as charms, which...
Okay, please stop buzzing. Don't buzz yet. Good news is I can't clear them. Yeah, that's the... I shit myself.
I'll be honest,
right,
I was not a big fan of those. But also the Anomaly, which is turning out to be okay. And here they confirm that 2025...
Okay, side note here, the Anomaly, I love how the Anomaly played out. When it first came out, everyone's like, it's crap, it's bad, it's whatever. And now, actually, pretty good. Anomaly's in a good spot. I am happy with how the Anomaly turned out.
Will have a similar level of this kind of experimentation. For example, there was a teaser for a mechanic that will turn familiar systems into a new experience, and there's gonna be another thing that might change TFT forever.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. Wait, what?
That is a quote that is bringing up interesting memories.
No, okay,
of course, they also keep working on Ever. And there's gonna be another thing that might change TFT forever. That is a...
Oh, that reference. 2025 will change League for... I mean, well, still time. It's not 2025 yet, so... Okay.
Quote that is bringing up interesting memories. Of course, they also keep working on balancing and tuning and bug fixing, so nothing...
Wait, we balance this game? Since when?
New there, but also they confirmed that a bigger portion of the team will be focusing on the new things such as the 5-year bash or the set revivals.
Oh, that's already
in fact, given the popularity of these new modes, they already announced the next set revival.
That's
so
true.
The next one is bringing back the original Lunar set.
True.
I like that one. But also, Talker's Trials will be making another comeback, and this time it will be more focused on PvE. I mean, it was already pretty good, so if they are focusing on PvE even more, now we are getting into a complex topic. Because in the past, TFT was always avoiding PvE because it didn't work out, and apparently the team tried a lot. So
What? Wait. Where was that misinformation from? We didn't avoid PvE. And we didn't try a lot. No, that's just false. That's just false. We didn't try a lot at all. In fact, if I remember correctly, every time you guys asked me where it was like, if you could make a roguelike TFT, would you? My response was, man, I would love to do that. That sounds super fun. That would be great. Like, we didn't try a lot because we were busy making sets. We had to, you know, make those 13 sets so far. That's just not true. That deserves a buzz? True. That is false.
I want to know what they're trying to figure out here. Maybe a story mode? Well,
okay, well, let's not exaggerate here.
Speaking of funny stories, it turns out that Double Up also became so popular, they are just turning it into a permanent game mode. Not only that, they will now support custom games where you can have 5 teams of 2 people just having fun. Which means, yes, people can now have their own custom tournaments of 2v2s.
I mean, that's a long time coming,
at the end of this
too.
video,
That was
we
always
also
the
got a
plan,
quick
yeah.
roadmap. So, after Arcane,
Also, yeah, you know where 5 teams came from, by the way? He's thinking like the league mode arena. It's 4 teams.
We're going into a battle for Cyber City, which means expect a lot of project
Hey, look, March 2025. So if you hate Into the Arcane, you just gotta wait till March.
skins and mechs and stuff like that, I guess. After which, there's gonna be another Shonen Tournament anime set.
Another? What was the first?
So expect the Tournament of Souls again, and together with maybe Star Guardians, together with maybe more of the Academy skins that we just got, and I don't know what else we have that is anime.
He's just like I don't know. Okay, so it must be a repeat.
In League. Oh, there have to be kaijus, right? There have to be some kind of monsters. But lastly, the third set of the year should be the biggest set we got so far. Now, we are not really sure what that means, but we know it will be themed around Runeterra. Again. And that is simply because, in case you don't know, the original Runeterra set was the most popular set that TFT ever got. At least.
What? Again, we're just pulling the numbers out of our ass here? Huh?
At the time, it was the most popular one. I'm not sure what it looks like in modern numbers. And Riot confirmed that eventually they will go back to Runeterra because it simply made sense. And so yes, by the end of the year, expect another lore set. So I will be nitpicking that one. But then, after this quick roadmap, they also confirmed that esports around TFT are still steadily growing. I mean, the Macau Open just happened, and with all the drops and stuff, it was a popular one. Still nowhere.
The drops is what made Macau Open popular. Just so we're clear, it was the drops. It was the emotes and the drops. Not the game, not the competitive. Nope, it was the drops. Yep.
Near a League of Legends Worlds or anything like that, but hey, maybe we'll get there eventually. But I'll be honest, when it comes to TFT's esports, I like the wackiness and the friendly environment. It really feels like a bunch of people sitting at a table just playing TFT for fun. But after Macau Open closed,
I want you to go up to every Macau competitor and ask, is that how you felt? There's just a bunch of guys hanging out having fun? I don't know that's how they felt. I mean, it was friendly, don't get me wrong, and everyone had a blast. There's like some half-truth there. I'll give him credit, but like, it's still hardcore competitive. I don't know, man.
They already announced the next one, and apparently next, we are going into Paris.
Yay, Paris!
Which is quite close. I would like to go, please. And then it all ends with one last image just showing us the roadmap.
Double up.
Yep, it's the sets and PvE.
Woohoo.
And that is where the TFT news ends.
Yay.
So, TFT is big. Not only is it big, it's kind of funny that Riot refuses to share any numbers surrounding the game.
Yes.
I wonder why.
Yes.
Then again, Riot has never really announced any kinds of numbers around any of their games.
Yep.
Like, they themselves
haven't.
know that their games are massive, and I guess they don't have to prove that to the world.
True.
But I'll be honest, I would
nice.
like to see at least where
validation.
TFT is compared to the other games around the world.
I like
because we can
validation,
constantly
I'm not
talk
gonna
about stuff
lie.
like, maybe League of Legends is the most played game in the world. But then Fortnite comes in and we have no idea how these two games compare. And then TFT now marched in and just
This guy just needs to go away. Nobody likes him.
casually said, yep, we're the most played strategy game in the world. So what? Riot now has the most popular MOBA, they have the most popular FPS, they have the most popular strategy game. So you know what? 2XKO has a lot to live up to.
Hey. Alright, that was fun.